Good morning, good people. For those, it's almost early afternoon. And for those who are on the high seas, it's time to go after One Piece. And for those who are in outer space, find better teammates who won't frustrate you for 40 hours. And those who are daddy, make delicious steak and egg burritos, breakfast sandwiches.
Hi.
So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Blerd Lines Podcast. It is your host with the most, Cyber Perry. We have Dad Pad in the building. And then we have a very angry, light-skinned Destiny player, Demigod, who plays with people that makes his ass itch on a level of frustration. We have a lot to go over today. We have things to address. We have people to upset. Truth to be told.
Oh, no.
So,
not the truth.
Before we go,
God, not the truth.
Oh, it must be addressed. And before we get started, I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna let that hold that in. We're going to see what the guys been up to this week. How are y'all doing? How is everyone?
I am wonderful.
Excellent.
It's very rare in a person's life that you can potentially fall in love with two games in a span of 7 days, my guy. I'm like, in my gaming life, I am a happy camper.
That's good. That's good.
I'm glowing. Can you see the glow?
You are something.
Yes.
Pack outside of frustration in space. How are you doing?
You know what?
Just getting off
good.
these Rocky Maivia vibes right now.
I'm good. What's up, Earl? How you doing, brother?
What's good, brother? That's good, Pack.
My ass itches a little bit.
Yeah, stop lying. Tell the truth.
I washed it, but my ass itches.
Tell the fucking truth. It's more than just
a
tad.
But honestly, I have some other gripes that I need to get off my chest today.
Oh, so okay. That's cool.
So yeah, we'll get to that a little later. Otherwise, I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Excellent. I'm good. I had a phenomenal week. It's been stressful. I told the guys I've been through 4 rounds of interviews for a new job opportunity, and it came down to 3 people, and I was the one that won. And it felt good. It felt good to get the news.
That you are better than the rest.
Yeah. They like my skill sets. And funny enough, the pricing that they put online, it's not what they were offering. It's a little bit more than that.
Gotta love when that happens.
Oh, man. They said a price, and I was like, are you serious? They was like, yeah. And they offered, and I got good benefits. And so I'm really happy about that.
Oh, you live?
Oh, yeah, man. I am in what they call, I'm part of that top percent that all these guys be talking about. I am a 6-figure man.
My man.
So it feels good, man. Some good realization happened recently. Just with myself, conversation with my wife, and just realizing who's really on your side. Fuck team, but who's on your side for the betterment of what you want to do, and those who just expose themselves for BS. And that happened Friday night for somebody I thought was really one of the guys. So I'm like, man, you.
Oh no,
bro, what? So people eliminating themselves with the truth. The folks that hit me up just want to check on me, who ain't on because I ain't on Facebook. Appreciate y'all. Those who just want to be nosy with my life, kick rocks.
That's how it be.
Yeah,
I'm one of them niggas that just want to be nosy. What you over there doing,
nigga?
What you doing?
I talk to you niggas daily.
What you doing, nigga?
I dislike all y'all. But anywho, fuck all the good life shit. We have nerd things to address. There is a lot of things up here that we have to talk about. Starfield has dropped. We have Baldur's Gate released on PS5. We have live action One Piece review. And so much more, man. We got some things to address. We got some good content to deliver for you guys today.
Couple feathers to ruffle, yeah.
Couple feathers. It's not even feathers. If you don't like what we say and you want to disagree, I'm willing to sit down and have a by the guys debate. I've been challenged, and I'm looking at 2 people, and they know who they are. And my person that's on my team is in Rome right now. And, oh yeah, absolutely, that'll be happening in my segment.
That's what I'm saying. If your feathers are ruffled, that means you a bird.
Man,
just keep that in mind.
So
just keep that in mind
before we continue. So where y'all want to start today, man? Because I'm feeling good. I've been talking about this all week. Y'all should have seen the group chat. Y'all should have seen it, nigga.
I'm here for whatever.
Excellent.
I don't know. I'm looking right. You know what? Let's get the bad news out of the way first.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, the rest of this is really kind of positive vibes. Right. So Starfield is kind of mid news, so we'll throw that in the middle. Right. So let's start out with PlayStation Plus. I think that's the worst of all the news this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just kicking it off, I'm sure everybody's heard by now, PlayStation Plus is increasing their prices.
WTF, PlayStation.
The premium is increasing by $40 a year, and the basic is increasing by $20 a year. Now, my biggest problem is this. Is PlayStation does not offer free cloud saving. You have to have PlayStation Plus to have cloud save. I think if they would move the cloud save into like a free tier where you at least got like 50 gigs or some shit like that, cool. But it's like, you mean to tell me I gotta have a PlayStation Plus I gotta pay $80 for the basic version of PlayStation Plus now for a year just to cover my data in case your machine becomes faulty because I bought a bad batch or some shit. Like,
and to even play online, I can't even play Madden, 2K, Call of Duty, none of that without even purchasing PlayStation Plus. Yeah. So I'm already paying $400 for a console. That's another $100, we'll say.
Yeah,
yearly subscription.
Right? Yearly,
and then the digital market is also cornering like video game sales. So you guys are making a minimum of, well, I'm not gonna say a minimum because I'm sure some other developers might have different deals under the PlayStation market. But I mean, you guys are making a maximum of 30% sales off of each sale coming from the PlayStation Store. It's crazy.
Now, I will say they are giving away a lot of games. We do get 2 games per year, but or 2 games per month, right? Now it's 3. Is it not 3? We're getting 3 games.
So it's one PlayStation game, PS4 game, I mean, PS4. One PS5, and then I think it's supposed to be, at least it used to be, one PSVR game. So I don't know like where they are on that right now, because I do see sometimes we just get 3 regular games.
Right.
So
Even
we're
like
somewhere
this
in there.
Month, we're in 3 regular games this month. So, but even still, we're not
getting games that are worth the monthly games are. Yeah, the monthly games that they're providing is not something that I'm like, ooh.
And that's what grinds my gears most about it. On September 6th, that is the day that the price officially raises. So if you have not renewed for a year, hurry up, swing over to Amazon, go buy yourself a year PlayStation Plus card right now for $60. Like, hurry up and go do it. I'm a poor bastard, so I can't. But honestly, y'all waited until the month that y'all putting fucking Saints Row. Saints Row on y'all free game list. You're putting fucking Saints Row,
right?
Like one of the worst games to come out last year. Like, I want to say, I think I gave Saints Row like a 4, maybe a 5.
Yeah, like, it was bad.
Like, it's a bad game, not even because of the fact that it had glitches in it and it was hella buggy, but it was just a bad game with a shitty story and bad writing and questionable voice acting and a boring world and poor gunplay and stupid weapons. That was,
I mean, I think everybody gave it.
And just so everyone knows, Volition Games, the studio behind Saints Row, Red Faction franchise, announced it was shutting down effective immediately.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, Saints.
That?
This week, Saints Row crashed them.
Bruh.
I mean, but so this is my thing.
Last month
Was PGA 2K23. You know what?
And Dreams.
PGA 23 and Dreams are both amazing games for a particular crowd. Yes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've played Dreams. Dreams is amazing. There's a lot of cool shit. I would encourage you, if you've not cashed in on that game yet, go get it. Check out what's in there. They're all fan created, user created games, and there's some really cool shit in there. Like Super Mario on PlayStation, fan made Sonic games, like 3D versions of Streets of Rage, like all types of like crazy shit. Like even first person shooters are in there. But in PGA 2K23, that's not my cup of tea, but somebody out there is checking for a golf simulator. Like,
absolutely.
But
I know a couple heavy players in that though.
Nobody in their right mind is going to say, you know what? I'm down for some Saints Row. It's one of those games that's so bad that it becomes entertaining, but it's only entertaining for about 3 hours before you're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm just saying, like nobody should want that game.
One of those games you pick up because you have nothing else to do.
Right.
No. You know what? If it was the only game that I had to play, I would probably just download a mobile game. If that was the only game I had to play, I would probably just get on Netflix and watch a movie. If
it's the only game that I had to play,
I would rather
do the typing game. See how
that's what I'm
fast
saying.
I can type.
I would rather watch Basketball Wives. I would rather watch Bad Girls Clubs.
Oh wow.
Than play. And y'all know how I feel about those shows. I hate mindless, soulless reality TV. I would rather watch a marathon of soulless reality TV shows than to sit down and have to play that game. Like, just I'll do the marathon. I will do it a day-long marathon versus playing 3 more hours of that game. I'm not sorry.
Again, I will see how fast I can type within 2 hours.
I don't know. PlayStation is really gonna have to come with some heavy hitters for them to like
validate this
price hike make sense, because we already coming out with a whole new system in the PS Portable. So
the $400 handheld that they're telling you costs $200,
right?
You know,
and the earbuds and the new,
that's why it's $400, because you got to get the new earbuds or headset.
Yeah.
I mean, because let's be honest, like it's 2023. How many of you guys are walking around with any type of digital display on speakerphone?
Nobody.
Not at the bus stop. Damn near not at home when you're by yourself. If you're walking around on speakerphone in 2023,
listening to music and shit.
I'm just going to assume that you're a murderer, or you're a homeless person that stumbled upon this electronic device.
Fair enough.
And somehow the data plan's not cut off yet.
Fair enough.
But hey, what do I know?
Yeah, it's not boombox years,
right?
Past that,
you know what I'm saying? We off that. So yeah, but PlayStation Plus, bad news. But what I will say, because Sean, you did say that, you know, they better like make it worth it somehow or another. There are rumors bubbling up that there will be a PlayStation showcase. So not a state of play, but a showcase for September. I don't know if I think we talked about it here a month or two ago, that there was like a internal announcement that Sony had pushed a bunch of their games out of 2023 quietly and into like the first half of 2024. So we might be seeing what some of those games that got internally delayed are. A homeless person that stumbled upon an electronic device. Yes, and I mean it. Like, do not put your shit on speakerphone. I'm just automatically going to assume that you're some type of psycho murderer.
You're a degenerate. It's like people who watch porn on their computer. You're an uncultured swine.
You have a phone for that, you filthy animal.
Right. But in positive news, as we transition to things that we can throw shade in, I want to throw. Can I have a moment to throw some shade? To everyone who wanted to shit on Coach Prime. I need to go ahead and let Coach Prime do his thing. Coach Prime was hated by everyone at HBCU because he left Jackson University. Now, he digressed, he took away, but he gave his reasons, and his reasons made sense. You know what Coach Prime did yesterday? You know what Colorado
did? The damn thing.
He did the damn thing. 45-43. 42, I believe. His son threw over 500 yards. There was 4 receivers that had over 100 yards of receiving. They beat TCU, who was ranked number 17, who was top 25 in the college football rankings. So I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Coach Prime. It's a phenomenal seed. They did not have the money. Colorado said they signed him to $29.5 million. They did not have it. Guess what they did? Colorado was able to raise $28 million and sold season tickets within the first time in 27 years. They sold out. And you know what Coach Prime did when he left Jackson? He said, "I'm bringing my luggage." And people thought he was talking about his expensive luggage that he bought that brings clothes. He was like, "No, the portal's open. I got folks coming in from all sides. Y'all better be ready for left. You know what I'm saying? You better be ready for your position to be up on spot, because if you ain't grinded, you are not part of my team." And it
was so funny because when he said I'm bringing my luggage last year, niggas was mad,
upset.
They was furious.
They couldn't stand it. They knew
furious.
They knew Prime knew talent. You know what I'm saying? Prime already had the boys' hearts.
Prime knows talent. Prime got connections.
Exactly. That's all it was. And they just, I don't know, man. People just don't want to see us win, but we winning anyway.
Oh man, I can't wait. And y'all know I'm an Alabama fan. Die hard Nick Saban, we trust. Shout out to our first dub this week. Proud of
Jalen. While we here real quick, can we also give a shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've been a fan. She's,
you know what I'm saying?
I want to give it. I want to take time, because I was one of her hardest criticizers when the moment happened. When she got caught smoking weed, I'll publicly say I was upset, because that was the year it was going to be the men's sprint events was out of the question. It was American women versus Jamaican women. You had the top peak of competition. Sha'Carri's killing it in the U.S., and then you got who's the short one? My queen, my lovely Shari was out there doing her motherfucking thing. And to see that situation go the way it went, it was disheartening. I understand she used it because there was a lot of personal issues, but as an athlete, you know, you got to stay on point. And
you know what?
Her bounce back was furious.
I don't even really want to hear that shit, because they let that Russian shit go by on the actual performance enhancement drugs, and like she
No, I get that, but at this point, bro,
you know they always gonna judge us twice as hard,
and I'm like, fuck them. We gotta stay on point. If they gonna do it, we show that we're better in all aspects. You know what I'm saying? That was a moment that I won.
We did. She smoked weed. She was on steroids. Okay.
I mean, still lost. And still lost.
Yeah, it was still a loss. But that's just crazy. Like y'all realize, like, just because we own this for a second, y'all realize that and I'm not anti-Semitic, so don't start wherever y'all at.
Don't do that.
But you know that the Jewish people can say, hey, the Holocaust, like, don't forget about this.
Right.
And white people can say, hey, 9/11, never forget. Japan can say, hey, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, hey, it happened. Don't do that shit again. But when black folk be like, hey, man, slavery was a thing, they be like, it was so long ago. Just let it go.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even go that far. The civil rights movement, y'all killed a leader. That's documentation that he was set up by the government. So I'm not even.
Oh yeah, that. Several.
So it's not even going.
Like Newton, MLK, Malcolm X.
Y'all infiltrated the Black Panthers that literally gave y'all what was it? The school lunch system. Like, y'all stole ideas from there. So I'm not even going to get into that, because I had to explain it to a guy at a birthday party. Greg knows, and
shout out to that guy. I hope there's eating shit.
But shout out to our athletes. They're killing it. Shout out to Noah Styles. He's chasing that Usain Bolt 200 record. 19.19 is very hard to break. Usain was a different animal in the same beast. So Shout out to them. Sports Coach Prime doing their thing. I can't wait to see him have that top 25 position.
It'll be a good year for football this year.
Oh yeah, it is.
And really,
it's gonna
be really hold on for dear life. Also, shout out to LeBron James' hairline. You know what I'm saying? Because that's black excellence too. That nigga's holding on,
man.
Okay?
Holding on.
Shout out to boxing. If y'all know anything about boxing, we eating. We eating.
Yeah, he definitely eating.
We eating
boxing too.
And before we move on, I gotta say this publicly. I know people want to laugh at my boy Earl Spence. He lost to a generational talent. If y'all niggas could do it, I'm looking at everyone who want to call him out. If y'all niggas could do it, he wouldn't have had 3 belts. He wouldn't have had 3 belts.
I'm sorry. I'm down to see the fight again. I'm down for them to run it back.
They're gonna fight. They're probably gonna fight at 154, but to me, it's gonna be the same result. Just because Bud is.
It might be, but I'm down.
I think
to
the
see
fight is probably
way.
going to end up the same way, but I do think it's going to be a better fight.
We'll talk privately because it's his corner that I have the biggest issue with. Derrick James.
Oh yeah, he is.
Derrick James got exposed. He got exposed. Tough.
Oh, did he?
Bro, when you look at Frank Martin, so Frank Martin fought first in the line of his fighters.
So wait, when you say this, I want to say, did he get exposed? Like something went down? Or
No. His fighters, his fighters got exposed. Okay. So when you
we already talked about that though, because even in the fight, he was like, "Hey man, just punch him more, bro. You need points."
That's not coaching. Then you got Frank Martin, who is Indianapolis born and raised. His original coach is Ike B, who is a close friend of my father's, a family friend, damn near family itself. He has the same fighting style as Earl Spence. He coached all his players like that. Bud exposed all that shit. You know who is under Bud that Frank Martin has to fight for the WBO 135 belt coming up because it's vacant because Devin Haney is running.
Haney's running.
Shakur Stevenson. I put all y'all on Shakur Stevenson.
It's like in my heart of hearts, I just know Haney is the largest bum, and I cannot wait for somebody to expose that panty line. I just cannot wait.
October 28th, we got him versus Progus.
Oh my,
140 belt.
It's like we can see that panty line under them trunks, sir.
Oh man,
that is not a cup. Okay, we know what that is, sir.
I can't wait.
It's fat, bro. That is not a cup. We know exactly what that is. Go ahead.
Lomo was robbed. I've never seen a bigger robbery.
Man, go ahead. Just let my boy Shakur tap that, man. Just
for real. No. If y'all seen his daddy says Shakur's been beating us. We're going to have a Captain's Lounge session where we talk boxing, and I'm going to break everything down that's been going in the world of boxing.
Let's do that.
But in further news, as we good morning, Ray. Shout out to
Ray.
Who's that?
Talia
Leon. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you. How are y'all doing? It's time to get into some other news. Some positive / bad news. Where were we? We have. Oh, let's talk Boulder's Gate. I want to.
I like it, man.
Boulder's Gate and Starfield.
Still on the fence.
Oh, dude. So Boulder's Gate playing with friends is a different experience of its own because they legitimately influence the entire story. People play their roles. So Greg has the better charisma, I believe. So he is the one that needs to be the one that communicates. I have dexterity. I have dexterity and strength, and I am strictly 100% violence. I'm looking at you, Albert.
Hey, Ray, happy birthday, bro.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Happy soul day.
Albert, I'm here for you.
Oh, my God.
It's a pack game because things that walk may get fucked. Anyone can get fucked in this game. Oh, you think you're unfuckable? Give me 2 minutes. The draws are coming down.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Shout out to Lady Tarnish because she made the funniest joke last night. If you a drow, she was like,
my God.
So who's a drow? Oh, you are? How's that racism? Hilarious.
Yeah.
What?
You had to be there. The timing was just perfect.
Impeccable.
We were in tears.
Jesus.
Yes.
Right.
But just to give background, so in that world, that particular race is like frowned upon by every other of the 30 races in the game. Like if you are that particular race, every other class and race looks at you and is like instantly like, nah, I don't like that guy.
What?
Yeah, it's the black person of Baldur's Gate.
Oh shit!
You can also make what is it? A companion? What is it? Like a guardian or something?
Hashtag owlbear.
You talking about the little minion Pochito?
No, not Pochito. The one that you create, like your
Cyber.
So after you make your character, you make an assistant or something?
Oh, Guardian. So the idea with the Guardian is like supposed to be like essentially like a guardian angel. It comes to you in like particular portions of the story. I haven't got to any of that in my single player experience just yet, though.
You know, you can fuck your guardian. Fact.
What?
That's what I heard. Yeah,
fact. You can fuck your guardian. So my character is pure evil, and
it sounds like you can fuck everything. In
you
this
can. You can. Law said the funniest thing last night. He said, he was playing. He's like, you better chill out before I fuck someone you know.
Bro, what?
That is wild.
All right, look, this is how wild this game is. And this is when I was playing my single player. I'm derping along in this little cave village, right? I see a rat on the floor, so I get curious, and I'm like, I'm gonna cast a spell to talk to animals because I'm a warlock and I can do magical things. Right. So I talk to this rat, and he's like, "Yo, dog, I got a chipped tooth," and I'm like, "Dang, bro, that's what gluttony gets you." He's like, "Nah, let me show you something." So I follow him into like this locker. Yeah, a rat, dog. So I follow him into a locker room, right? But as I get to the locker room, the door is locked. So I try to pick the lock, but there's a guard looking at me like, "Nah, bro, I wish you would." So this vampire in my crew who gives like mad vibes of like, I don't know if he wants to like eat me or fuck me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like that kind of vampire. I'm like, "Yo, bro, you're pretty charming. Go talk to this female guard." So I take control. I go talk to him, switch back to control of my main person, pick the lock, go inside. There's a chick in there who has like a paralysis spell on her, right? So like I'm talking to her, like she's talking about stuff I don't really care about. I see the rat. The rat's like, "Yo, the evil thing that chipped my tooth is right there in that chest that she's sitting on." I'm like, "How do I get in there?" So I Google it. Google tells me that I have to cast a healing spell on her. Cast a healing spell, it don't work. Huh. Cast it again, it don't work. Huh. So at this point, I'm like, nah, I'm about to see what fucked up this mouse. The mouse said he want to show me something. I'm gonna see what it is. So I get one of my characters with melee abilities to whack her with this bone. Bro, look, I whacked her with it. She said, guards. Bro, the guards came. I sent my main character outside with the charisma to talk to the guards. They was like, "What you in there doing?" Roll for charisma. Persuade them that we just in there chilling. Nothing. What are you talking about? He was like, "All right." Went back in, whacked your ass. Took the loot, right? Closed the door, locked that bitch back, and walked away. Never found her ass, dog.
What the fuck?
So, Pac, bro, in other situations, you can walk in and say,
whatever.
You can walk in and say, it's a present for the demigod. Thank you.
Wow.
We'll lay waste to you here.
Bro, I legit did that again last night. I stole something. They were like, "Hey, bro, you're going to jail for stealing." I literally looked at them with my musical powers, my magical powers, and was like, "Yeah," I was like, "No, I didn't." And they were like, "Maybe you didn't steal that."
This man Jedi mind trick motherfuckers.
Opposed to Nick, because Nick don't have no charisma, bro.
Oh no, nigga, I choose violence. Like because I stole something off a dead body, and they was like, "Bro, you can't be doing that." I'm like, "Nigga, what?" and was like, "Oh, bro, I'm violence. Like I'm not paying for nothing." So I got this. I got this flame sword. This flame sword does damage. Does big boy damage.
Yeah, we had to kill Satan to get it.
Yeah, and it
Satan.
Yeah, Satan got fucked.
Yeah.
So I'm in the village. I'm like, I can't. I started something. Say, bro, you can't do this. We gotta buy armor. I was like, I can affect this. Oh, violence is being chosen everywhere I go. Fuck everyone else.
Now you gotta tell the rest of the story. He stole that. They jumped his ass, knocked his ass out, and put him in prison. We had to go break his ass out.
And I was laying down, just chilling, like, all right,
bro.
I'm a fight again. If you let me out, I'm
in prison.
Yeah. Bro, his ass was in there laying down with 1 HP.
Chilling, bro.
Damn. He couldn't,
bro.
Yeah.
Chilling. I love this game. Like, I can see why the hype is for it.
It's crazy. It's so fried because while the homie Ryan was like over there trying to like break in to get him out of prison, there's like this little goblin over there, like a female goblin. She's low key thick. She was built like a midget, right? So I'm like, I'm talking to this little goblin. She's like, man, get me out of here. We got healers that got magical potions that can help you. Whoop de whoop. It's located over here. I can lead you there. I had the option to be like, all right, I'm gonna break you out. But what I do is said, I was just like, nah, bro, you already told me what I need to do. You can rot your ass in here. Left.
Violence has been chosen. Yeah, bro. Yeah, our campaigns are gonna be great.
Violence. All violence.
It's yeah, bro. I've been pushing niggas off buildings.
Is this game run by AI? Like Starfield?
No. So it's like so you would understand this more like if and when you get into tech industry, but it's essentially a large mesh of coding of if, then, and when codes that just layer on top of each other. Wow. So it's like
else and shit.
So it's like it's one of those things that the experience that I'm having in single player, though, like I've gone to some of the same areas, has been damn near completely different than the experience that we're having in multiplayer. So it's a lot of fun.
It's great. Okay, I can see why it's getting the love and attention that it started off with. And this is again one of those games that another outside of the box game that I'm trying and I'm actually loving. But it's the people that you play with that gives it that type of experience. So now I can go back and be like, oh, okay, I want to try this for myself now and get that type of experience where I'm like, okay, I've already chose violence. All right, let me see if I want to do a warrior class or something of the sort and build my team around that and see how I can progress. And like, it didn't take me that long to grasp it. I think in the first playthrough when we was fighting Satan, I was like, okay, this is what.
Yeah, we got a lot of trial and error out of the way during that.
Yeah, so I knew what dash, and I knew I can jump to get closer to the enemy. I understand my buffs and what my character can do, and so bro. I like it, and since Brian told us last night that it is based off one of the first Dungeons and Dragons, like there's more to it, but he said
books or something like
books, yeah. And he was like, yeah, this is what it is. I'm like, man, this is interesting. So I'm enjoying it. I'm having a great experience. Anyone who's into it, definitely give it a try.
I'm gonna put it to you like this: even when you're playing a group campaign, the group campaigns can last anywhere from 70 to 100 hours, from what I understand. And it's encouraged that when you set up a campaign, you more or less play it with the party that you play it with. But we only played for maybe 2.5 hours last night, as a unit, and that's what happened in essentially the opening tutorial and like the first storyline that we kind of sort of got engaged with. So there is no telling what's going to happen as we dig further and further into this game. Like I didn't understand it before. I knew I was excited because it seemed like something groundbreaking and people were raving and I wanted to be a part of it. But playing it now, both single player and playing a multiplayer campaign, it is clear that Baldur's Gate 3 is actually going to be something very special.
Yeah.
So like if you are reserved on it, I will say that the combat, I think the combat's really good, especially like you've been playing like Persona. So the turn-based, you kind of getting a tick for that now.
Yeah.
Like, I think you'll enjoy it. It does take some getting used to, but once like you get it down, like, oh, it's on.
And I can see why this was like a PC game. You know what I'm saying? So like this is like a for sure, if we all start gaming on PC, like this is one of those games where we're going in. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's one of the little homies right there. That's one of the little homies right there. That's JP. That's one of the original guys that hung out with JP right there.
Oh, okay, okay. You
Yeah,
good with JP and you good with me. That's all that matters.
Saying. So it was good, but Baldur's Gate was one of those games. It's one of those games that's very special. I can see why the numbers are doing so well for that game and so high. So I'm happy, man. And then we have
because it's gonna be too real if the three of us have a campaign together.
Oh man,
hey, Mo,
it's one of those like
I don't even want to know what that's gonna look like.
No.
Oh man.
Again, Ryan has to be on our team just because you are the focus healer, bro. You will have to support because me and Sean are choosing violence, and you better stop.
I'm gonna be a spellcaster, but I'm not healing nobody. You don't understand violence until you see me in battle.
Yeah, Greg was violent.
I am a bully. I'm talking about we started and like they're like walking around like trying to get their shit together and going through inventory. All they see is experience tickers coming up because I'm off of my own 3v1 and shit. Like by myself.
I'm learning the game.
Like, yo, Greg, what are you doing? Fucking shit up. Take the experience. Leave me alone.
That's crazy.
Still learning the mechanics.
Yeah, and that's like the dope thing. Like you can literally, like you're not tethered to your teammates. Like you can be in a battle on one side of the map in an entire different story somewhere else. It does not pull you into any cutscenes. Like if you want to partake in those conversations, you walk up and you'll hit X to listen, and then you'll be a bystander of that conversation and see what's going on. So that's like another cool thing about it. So when we're in those situations, like for instance, if I engage in a conversation, y'all are sitting there and y'all listening to me, and again, I'm Mr. Charisma or Miss Charisma because I always got my female, and y'all see that maybe I have a bad role and my charisma doesn't work, and the person I'm talking to is getting mad because y'all aren't tethered to me. Y'all could already be in position where maybe somebody is throwing oil on the ground, or somebody is getting to the high ground, so they have leverage with arrows from a distance and shit before the fight even starts. So as soon as they bump stupid with me, we already have the high grounds. We already have the advantage.
Right.
Like there's like so many different ways you can play.
Either?
No, there's no microtransactions. It's a full game, bro.
It's a complete game.
It's a complete game.
We got a complete game.
Well, we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons game. So it's if you want to try something new, I definitely recommend it. You can play with us if you want, or just watch it, stream it. But Mo, this is a complete game where it gives you that great single player game where you all in control of the NPCs that you play with, the influences that they have. And this is a phenomenal multiplayer game where like yesterday, it was just 3 of us in the party. We add NPCs, and the person who adds that NPC to the party, he controls that NPC of what they do as far as attacks and heals and whatnot. And it's a phenomenal aspect of what's like, okay, each time I was hurt because I was getting hit and they did not want me to use my flame sword, Ryan was there to heal me with both characters and then attack. He tried to take my kill away, but it didn't happen. He had like 3%. I hit him with a 20.
Was mad petty.
I hit him with a 20 damage. I hit him with 20 damage.
Yeah, it was like 20, which is crazy. At the beginning of the game, you doing damage for like 6 and 7. Now I'm a savage, so I be hitting niggas for like 12 and 15. But when he whacked this thing with that sword and came out with that 20 ball, we was like,
problem.
Yeah.
Problem.
20 ball, he only had like 2 HP left. It was disrespectful as hell.
And it hits him for it, and it gave him fire dip. Yeah, this game is a problem. So definitely pull up. I can start streaming. I'm only streaming for my PlayStation because right now this is a PC machine, and I don't feel like sitting at my desk all the time. So there's that. And coming alongside with the release of Baldur's Gate on PS5, well, console, we have Starfield. Now, Starfield has been getting, I wouldn't
It's
say
been getting pretty
lukewarm
good
reception.
reviews, actually.
Yeah, like it's not getting lukewarm reception. It's getting like close to a decent temp reception, from what I've seen and what I've heard. If you like Bethesda, if you're into Skyrim, if you're into Fallout, this is a game that's in space that has that type of aspect. I'm like, okay. One thing that I want to point out, Greg, I don't know if you saw, but the game crashed on Xbox on the Kind of Funny stream twice.
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's not a good look.
So
yeah, that's wild.
that happened.
But the crazy thing, what they're saying is that if you have a GTX 3060, it can barely maintain 1080p 60 frames a second.
What?
So like I don't know if that's like some type of like optimization issue, but like for me, like I have a 3070 Ti, so I'm like a step and a half above it. But where I was expecting, I might be able to do like 1440 60, maybe 4K 30. I'm kind of like I might be playing at 1080 60. Like and I'm still going to try it, but in a nutshell, from what people are saying, is this is not the end all be all that people built it up to be, that Bethesda or Microsoft built it up to be, but it is a good game. And if you are a Bethesda fan, then you will enjoy it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been hearing as well. I watched a few different streams from some early release streamers who got their hands on the game a few days earlier. And I mean, it seems cool to a fault.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they leaned in a lot on the customization part. And I think that had they put in maybe a co-op or something along those lines to where we can interact with other players, I think this game would have probably jumped off even harder than the lukewarm reviews that it's receiving. Even with whatever bugs and I think shortcomings that are coming with the game, because from what I'm understanding, you can't walk around a complete planet. So
yeah, it's weird.
You're dropped into a particular area of a planet and you explore that area and maybe a bunker or two, and that's the extent of exploring that planet.
Yeah. And I gotta go back to what I've been saying, Sean. You know, I've been saying for weeks, I feel that it's a red flag that we haven't seen seamless gameplay like they made it out to be, of talking to an NPC, going outside, hopping in your spacecraft into orbit, flying to another planet, doing some shit, and then hopping in and going back into orbit.
Yeah, load screens is a thing too.
Yeah, now we know that the game is separated with load screens. Like they're like it's not, and like don't get me wrong, like I understand that games do need loading screens, but it's like when you have like, and I understand these are different games, and you know, so it's going to definitely be different development philosophies and such. But when you have a game like God of War that works around the idea of load screens with the concept of, oh, we're gonna go to I forget whatever the tree thing is called, and you're walking through and you're talking to your companion for 30 seconds while the game is loading, but all the while providing a seamless experience. Like when you have shit like Rift Apart, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, where you can walk through a portal and then on the other side of that portal is an entirely different world within seconds. You would think that they would be able to do a thing where maybe you're flying in the sky, and maybe once you get to a point in the sky where it's all blue before it fades into purple into the black of outer space, that's your loading screen.
Right.
But I mean, but you know, like, what do we know? I understand game development is extremely difficult, but I mean, it just kind of sucks because I went from excited and curious to more like, I mean, I guess I'll just try it.
I'll try it, right?
Yeah.
I'll try it and see if I like it, and if I don't like it, then
It's
I
Game
mean, I
Pass.
personally have never really been that interested in a Bethesda game.
Yeah, me
So
neither. And
this will be my first one. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like
So
I tried Prey, I tried Skyrim, and
uh,
they're okay.
uh,
They all feel the same to me.
Yeah, I was huge in the Skyrim, and I'm never going to get the platinum because I can't find that random ass book in some random dungeon. But I will say that essentially, because for me, this was one of those games that Xbox was leaning towards as it's going to be our official like big time
mm-hmm,
console selling game.
mm-hmm,
Where
yeah.
because I don't want to be a hypocrite when I say this, a 7 isn't bad.
No, it's
7
not.
isn't bad. It's like, oh, okay,
And I
cool.
think per IGN's like scale, because I know that's the 7 everybody keeps pointing to, it literally says 7.
Yeah, it's a good,
Good.
it's a solid, it's cool. And I'm going to address a lot of the Sony ponies out there. Like, hey, y'all, like I love PlayStation myself. It's like, y'all, a 7 isn't bad. This is something that Xbox been needing for a while. It's a game that is leaning towards. They have something there. It's cool. It's not something that
Yeah,
it's an
I think
opportunity for them to
Sony.
build on from this. Like, are there
Oh,
issues there? Absolutely. Should have been ran at 60 frames per second on Xbox. Absolutely. That's my personal opinion. It's
Yeah.
one of the most powerful systems out there. I'm sorry, it is the most powerful system out there, so there's no excuse from that. You're going to have bugs with Bethesda games. That's who Bethesda is. That's what they've always done. We accept that fact.
right.
So there is a 7 is okay. So I'm not upset with that. My thing is I'm critiquing something that I want to do better. It's a good opportunity for you guys to grow from that. It's not one of those games that's a console generational game that changes the game industry. It's
It's
not
not
that. Um,
yet. At least, don't they have some DLC? Maybe they can,
it's there's
bring
some things that need
themselves
to come.
together.
Absolutely. So
But that says poo.
uh
So all in all, like I mean, it's doing okay. Like I'm showing that on Metacritic, it has like, I think an 87, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't bad.
B.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a really solid score for Metacritic. And
But
I
is it
mean,
fun though?
I will
It
find out
looks
I
next
mean,
week.
we'll have to find
decently
out.
fun. It
Yeah,
looked decently fun.
I will be finding that next week because I'm not buying the game.
I saw a guy find an alien and like he basically brought it onto his ship and then tried to go back to like one of the Federation planets. They caught it as contraband. And he was like all of a sudden being inducted into some undercover task force to like fight pirates and shit. So I mean it's quests upon quests, I guess. It
Yeah.
seemed like something that you would probably find in
So
a
from
Bethesda cabinet.
Yeah, so from what I understand, what a lot of people are saying is that you get the most um out of Starfield when you play it in a particular way. And that would be to pick a role and stick with it and commit to it. So
Right.
if you for instance feel like you want to be a farmer, then like yeah, do your main quest, but as a farmer you can go and to different planets, get different resources, come back, build your homestead, manage crops, build a house and all of that stuff. If you want to be a bounty hunter, then do bounty hunter shit and so on and so forth, or like you said, that secret task force, and you can kind of get lost in like hours upon hours of a quest line under that. So I do think that that's cool, a game that has so many possibilities. But whereas the way most people play games and they want to get the most out of things and they're going to try to put their hands in everything, I hear that if you play it that way, that you don't get as much out of it. So
Take that for what
it's
you will.
like, yeah, so exactly. Take it for what you will. Like maybe some of these people that are having lukewarm perceptions aren't playing the game the way it's intended to be played. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe if you choose the path of like a smuggler or something, you're just supposed to stick to that role and not try to be a smuggler
and the hero,
sharecropper and the hero,
yeah,
and that can make sense.
We'll have to see, but I'll be drowning in Baldur's Gate and
Don't tell
I'll
me how
get
to
to it
live
when I
my
get to it.
life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it. It's already pretty loaded on my Xbox. As soon as I can play it, I'm gonna play it.
Nigga
I'm
fall
gonna
on
give it
his
some
face.
time, but I will be Baldur's Gating tough.
You beat Baldur's Gate? Like, are you
No, I
planning
will
to
be playing.
platinum it?
No,
Because
no, there will be no platinum. Because I'm still playing Armor Core tough, and
man, Armor Core is like really fun.
it is really fun. It's the best mech game that's out there. It's a proper mech game. Well, it's my first mech game, so and I like the
It's
gameplay of it and the movement of it is phenomenal. I will have to say, because I seen something and it said, is Armor Core getting lost between the release of Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield? And my personal opinion is no. Uh, Armor Core was a niche game to begin with, and it got a huge
Yeah.
reception from people who were interested in that type of game.
I'll be right back.
From Software again was a From Software has now gone to the point where it's no longer a niche title. I mean, I'm sorry, a niche studio that provides games for those who are hardcore fans of the studio product, and that's just what it is. So when
they're becoming household, especially with Elden Ring. I
absolutely,
think Elden Ring really took them into the kind of household name when it comes to studios, just because of how kind of open it is and how much it drew people into the game. I mean, people like me who, me typically are playing something like Destiny or even playing Madden and 2K have platinumed the Elden Ring, and I am an Elden Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like that just is different from anything that I probably would have played. And so for that reason, like AC6, Armor Core 6 just interests me. It's like, maybe I can't platinum this game, but it's interesting to see what else From Software can do. You know
right?
what I mean? And I'm having so much fun with it. I need to try Sekiro. I need to try Sekiro,
No,
Ryan.
no, 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 no. You need to play Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3. Those are more welcoming because I cannot
Yeah,
help you in
true,
Sekiro. It's 100%
true,
on your own. And you
true.
need to understand what the parry system is. And you can do a lot more of that in
I don't
Bloodborne.
do a lot of pairing. I didn't
It,
do any pairing
yeah, but
in Elden Ring.
that's 100% what Sekiro is. But I will
Shoot.
say From Software already had it. It was already getting the buzz that it deserves because it's one of those studios that, again, Dark Souls did it well, Demon Souls, and then Dark Souls did
Demon
it
Souls.
really well. It was like, oh, what is this Japanese game? Stop it. You stop it. Those games are phenomenal. Stop it. They're pedigree games. They're game award winning games. Stop it. And so when that happened, you have people who are investing into like, oh, Dark Souls genre, like I can have these builds. This is phenomenal. And you have that trilogy of Dark Souls, and then you have Bloodborne that comes out in between, and
I
then
have to hear that
Sekiro.
story, Mo.
Oh, bro, I broke. So with Sekiro, how can I say this? Well, let me
I
finish my
have to hear
point.
that story.
From
Yeah.
Software had games that's already household and had a reputation of grueling, tough games. Elden Ring went to the point of anyone can play it at your own at your own will. Like you can play any way, you can beat the game how you want, and it was phenomenal. I pretty much I love the fact because it gave you different ways to win, and it's a game studio that tells you like, well, it shows you like we don't put easy mode in the game. We give you options to make the game easier for you, so you can beat it how you want, and that was really there for Elden Ring. For me, my first one that I played real tough was Bloodborne. I spent 96 hours in my first playthrough. I broke several controllers, but when I actually went in there a second and third time, I beat it. My second playthrough, I dropped 50 hours. I beat it in 45. because I was grinding to get everything, and after that, now I'm just speed running just for fun with different builds. And so,
I kind of want to do a new game plus, but
Elden Ring,
for Elden Ring,
it's
I
grueling.
kind of do. I kind of do. I kind of want to do it, but I do have Demon Souls downloaded. I've played a little bit of it, but I'm just having so much fun in Armored Core. I just think that, granted, it's a niche game. Granted, it came out around the same time as Baldur's Gate and Starfield. Those who appreciate games like this they're going to get into it at one point or another, whether it's being gotten to them in the PlayStation Store at a discounted price, or they buying it in a bundle pack with Baldur's Gate and Sekiro. Like, they're people who appreciate these types of games. There's already a market for, and I think that they're gonna do just fine.
And Ryan, yes, Demon Souls got lucky tragedy, of course, but let's be real. The glitches made the game not harder than what it was. It was the camera. We're not going to have this conversation. We know what's going on with From Software games. You're just here to piss me off. We're not going through that. I see where this is going, and I'm stopping you there. Sekiro, for me personally, is probably the most balanced game where it is a true skill test. You have to be on the parry. It's very pressure based. You have to know your enemies, and you have to be prepared to fight because it's fair ground.
You think Wukong's gonna be like that?
Say it again.
You think Wukong's gonna be like that?
Wukong, it depends. It's another Souls-like game, Soulsborne-like game. So it depends. I'm looking forward to it. I've seen plenty of good gameplay of it. I just wanna get my hands on it at this point.
I could taste it almost.
Taste
that
it.
and the new Star Wars game that they scrapped 1313 for. I was actually kind of concerned about it, but I saw some news regarding the like gameplay and stuff, and I don't know if it was actual gameplay. I think it was just footage, like a cutscene footage or something. But Wulong, yes, thank you. But I just that new Star Wars game looks yummy.
Black Myth.
No. So no, he doesn't mean Wulong. We know what Wulong is. Nobody likes Wulong.
It's Black
we
Myth
want Wukong. That's the one we want. Wulong is out already. It's mid. It's not fun.
Wukong, the Black Myth.
No, it's Black Myth Wukong.
Thank you.
Yeah, Wulong is the one that's out right now.
Wulong is the one that's out.
And it's not done. It's not tight.
It is what we call me and Rob. That bitch is just clean up work. We're just there to get in and get out.
Get in, get out.
It's not difficult. It does know what it is. It presented too many.
I'm looking at it like a God of War game in a Soulsborne format.
Again, I will have to see more of it, but it has the elements of a solo adventure game, and it has elements of a Soulsborne game. So it just depends on what type of, if it has the build aspect of a Soulsborne where you can put your skill tree at, or something like, like you just said, God of War. Time will tell. We're looking at a 2024 release.
I'm excited to check it out, though. Definitely.
I'm definitely going to put my hands on it. So
yeah,
immediately, definitely
run my fingers through its hair.
Yeah, seductively. For
it. That's very, very, very passionate of you. That's kind of sweet.
Y'all know Perry games get that type of love.
Right.
But before we continue, I want to thank everyone that's pulling in. We have 11 concurrent watchers right now, but we only have 5 likes. So in the words of Boulder Gate, if you don't like that, I'm coming for you in the most aggressive way.
That's aggressive.
Now hit that like button.
Right. Lick that like button.
Or Wrath is coming for you. It's the name of my character.
Did you really?
So let's see here. Oh, we had because I'm gonna go in. I am about to go in. I'm gonna take my time.
Is it time?
Hold on, wait.
Is it time?
So something, and we don't have to express a long time because I know we've talked about the writer and actor strikes for a very long time.
Okay, yeah.
Over a couple different episodes already. But as of the last few weeks, we just want to kind of get you guys ahead of the curve here. The strikes for writers and actors is starting to bleed its way into video games as people are closing out contracts and new projects are starting to begin in writing processes and such. Those strikes are starting. So definitely support the writers and the actors. Do be in mind that if this does not work out, the next 5 years of gaming is going to be bland with a bunch of generic multiplayer games of service titles that we don't want. So hopefully they get that. Didn't they? I did see that they did like a verdict that says that AI art and such cannot be copywritten.
Correct.
Which should be a winning factor for them. But clearly that battle's still going. So definitely support those guys, tip our hats to them, and hopefully we can fix this before Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out by the time we're grandparents.
Man, and we're gonna be waiting on that.
I think they released what the writers were actually asking for versus how much the companies are actually making, which makes sense. So they're not asking for way too much, y'all. They're being quite reasonable on that end as far as writers. So give them the pay or suffer the consequences. I stand with the writers. Yeah, I stand with the writers on all aspects. I want them to get the money they deserve so they can keep being creators and give us the content that we love so much. That is for not only shows, anime shows, but also with video games that I love so much. Be like studios that created Baldur's Gate. Love what you want to do. Pay the people that want to be in the environment that you have created. Stop being a greedy bastard.
Yeah, be like A24. Give the people what they want.
Right. Shout out to A24. Again, I know we always give them a shout out, but shout out to them for doing the right thing all the time.
Yeah, they made Pearl. Pearl's really good.
All right, it is time.
It's time to stretch. It's time to get it in. Right, so let's talk about Netflix. Before we go into One Piece live action, shout out to Baki. Baki, Son of Ogre was really good and ended well. Thank you.
Who won? Did Baki win? Or did Ogre win?
Let's say this.
Because I feel
father
like Baki
gave him
won because his father acknowledged him, and
his father gave him the title of World's Strongest. His son told him that, father, you walked away. That is the motion of someone who has acknowledged that they are won. And the person has defeated because you stood over me and you walked away as prey that is no longer entertaining.
Thank you.
So it is how you want to look at it. Baki didn't hear his father tell him because, of course, his eardrums were busted. So it's what you deem as who is the winner.
I seen Yujiro cook in somebody's kitchen for the first time in all my years.
It was a phenomenal moment.
Phenomenal.
I loved it.
And made rice.
Make believe rice.
It made rice. My God.
So if you're a Baki fan, please check out Son of Ogre. Yeah. It's really good. It's better than that bullshit they started off with. So yeah, definitely check it out. But we people are here for one thing and one thing only. And they're here for Perry's opinion about One Piece live action. And I'm going to give it a solid 6 out of 10. Greg, can you give the people the definition of the scaling of Blerd Lines Podcast?
Okay. Let's go through the scale. Okay. Let me pull that up. Okay. I'm gonna report not to my Palm Pilot, but to our Google Doc. Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm gonna go up the list from the bottom to emphasize exactly what a 6 means. Okay.
Thank you.
So a 1 out of 10 is rated by the phrase of Superman 64 bad. Okay. If you ever played Superman 64 before, you know exactly how bad it is. It's unplayable. It's bottom of the barrel. And Walmart has the $5 bin. This should be in the $10 bin, but not any $10 bin. The $10 bin where they pay you $10 to take this piece of shit off of their property. Okay, so get that. 2 is terrible. Why terrible? Because terrible is terrible. Nobody wants terrible things. At the point that it's terrible, people don't appreciate it at all. No one should enjoy it. Okay, nobody should enjoy terrible things. Then we got 3, turtleneck. You know why 3 is turtleneck? Because no one should enjoy a turtleneck, but every now and then you got a weirdo that's going to find the good in it and be like, you know what? That turtleneck at least keeps me warm. Okay. Then we got 4, mediocre. Okay. We know what mediocre means. That means it is below average. It's like, did you try or did you just wake up and do it? Which means you did it, but you woke up and you did it without effort. Then we got 5. 5 is mid. You are literally the middle. You're not good. You're not bad. You're right there in the middle. You know what I'm saying? This is not a C minus that's close to a D. This isn't a C plus that's close to a B. This is a plain old simple C. Okay, got that? Now here we go. What's next is 6. What is 6? Okay, that means that you're not good, but you're not inherently bad. You're okay. 6 is okay, which means there are things to enjoy here. There are things that can be improved here. There are things that we probably don't ever need to see again. But all in all, it's okay. I would watch it again, but I'm not looking to watch it again. Okay. And then we'll just wrap up. 7 is good. We know what that means. 8 is great. We know what that means. 9 is amazing. You should understand that. And 10 is a masterpiece, which is a shining example that you are exceeding all expectations and providing a new pathway for your line of media and the art that you create.
Thank you.
But again, a 6 is okay.
A 6 is a solid okay. And people think I am a hater because of whatever reasons. I am not a fan of live action adaptations of anything from cartoons to anime. Greg had to sit down. We had a conversation. I did not. He understands why I don't like live action adaptation. I am a person that enjoys the color variants of what we get in these shows of cartoons. Lion King is a phenomenal example. When you hear I Can't Wait to Be King, that color palette of what they presented, it is unmatched when you look at the animation and the color aspect that they presented. Same thing with Mulan. You get those types of feels from that. I love that. I love artists. I love the artistry that comes with cartoons, especially because I know it takes so much time to develop that. When you look at live action that is presented, there are technical advancements that they're working on for other shows that can't be done. Lion King was the beginning of that. Mulan was not good, in my personal opinion, but it had good color variance when it comes to costumes. Now, I want to state this. And live action anime adaptations, the curse has already been broken when you have movies like Kenshin, Kingdom, Erased. That mindset of
Erased was good live action?
Yeah, it was solid. It's literally a good live action adaptation of the anime.
Okay. I didn't watch it.
Oh, it's solid.
I also heard that Full Metal wasn't terrible.
It's just okay.
It wasn't. It's just okay.
It's just okay. Bleach was Attack on Titan was bad. But these are studios that come from overseas.
Attack on Titan never stood a chance
at all.
Let's be real.
These are studios that are in Japan that take the core content of the shows without trying to change it. That's why they're good. So when you get Netflix anime adaptations, Americanized, you get misses like Dragon Ball Evolution. That was terrible. That was god awful. Or you get Avatar, The Last Airbender, which was god awful. But then you get something that is possibly could be good, like that had the potential of being really good, which was Death Note. We had William Dafoe, who was a phenomenal Ryu. Perfect Ryu. But we had the environment that they wanted to change because of the visions that writer wanted to present. But Death Note was already good, especially the first season. It was good.
You know what? We knew Death Note was going to be bad when they told us the story was about Light Turner.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, bro.
We knew it was gonna be
bring back
terrible.
It was
Mr.
the same thing with
Yagami.
Cowboy Bebop, man. Like
Pack, that is
thing
my
I can
point.
say about
That is my
Cowboy
point.
Bebop had the potential to be good.
Yeah,
I
and
just
that's
feel
the
like they
thing about
chose the wrong
Oh no,
main
Pack. Well,
character.
the things I'm about to bring up because Cowboy Bebop is in there. It's part of the main ingredient, the sauce that Greg creates. It's one of the main
yeah,
ingredients that he can't miss.
like the thing about Cowboy Bebop was like it almost leaned too hard. Like 'cause the thing is, like when you watch Cowboy Bebop, it's dark, it's gloomy, it's the
Full of
real folk
despair,
blues
bro.
at the end. It's full of despair. The only upbeat thing about that show in reality is the opening sequence.
The opening
The
song.
oh,
They
and
are struggling.
and I think that the biggest issue that they had with that live action version of that show is that they took the opening theme, they fucking killed it. The opening theme was amazing, but then they made the mistake of thinking that that was the
tone of the show.
direction of the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, because there is explosiveness and high energy in there, but that happens in there with the doom and the gloom and the almost the solitude and loneliness of outer space and everything that happens in between, but so it was like, and I'm not going to say it was a bad show. I did think it was kind of stylish and cool for what it was. But it wasn't necessarily at the end of the day the correct tone that you would expect Cowboy Bebop to be in.
Right. And so with that, Cowboy Bebop had its good moments. It aesthetically to me looked good. How they had the characters was okay. But the thing that threw me off was when they said we're going to give you our version of Cowboy Bebop, but literally the first episode was copy and paste of the first episode of the anime.
Yeah.
Like literally copy and paste.
I just didn't like Spike, man. I think they could have chose a better Spike.
Somebody a little younger, somebody a little more limber.
Yeah.
I mean, he did what he could, granted his age, and
I'm not
he loves the character.
Mad at it. I just feel like if you really wanted to tip the scales, they could have chosen a no-name actor to play Spike, somebody that really looked like Spike.
Vicious was off as well.
Yeah, Vicious was off.
So it had its quarrels, and Ed at the end was not it. So I digress. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the positives for One Piece before I get into the negatives. Aesthetically, it is amazing. I was blown away from the CGI that they presented in One Piece. I thought that was going to be a huge miss.
Really?
But yeah, the Snell walkie-talkies were great. I think they look phenomenal. With the Gatling gun that Luffy does. You can see the CGI, but I wasn't mad at it. They did what they could.
That's like 1,000 punch thing.
Yeah,
right?
it was great. I loved it. It looked great.
I'll probably go watch that scene just to see what it looks like.
Yeah, environmentally, you see what they've done. I loved it. Usopp is one of the characters that I despise in the anime. He gets on my nerves. He's probably my favorite Straw Hat presented in One Piece. Live action. I really enjoyed Usopp. I did not like Buggy's design. Buggy steals the show. He's great. Buggy is phenomenal. The fishmen look like drunk women, white women from California who have too much lip injection, but those are fishmen and they did what they could. I'm not mad at that. And then the title screens that they changed throughout the show, I really enjoy because they always change, which was really good. That was very understanding what they did, and I understand the limitations that One Piece could not do. Zoro is known for having the 3-sword style. You can't do that live action all the time.
Why?
Because it's impossible.
It's very hard.
It's not practical.
It's not practical
at all.
Well,
then they shouldn't fucking do it.
Pack, that is going to get to my point. Just hold on. Just hold on. Just let me get there.
They shouldn't do it if they can't do it like it is in the anime.
Let him cook, Sean.
Let me, because I'm adding some things. So let's begin. So when we, and I will say Alvida, her first appearance, Alvida, I loved. I liked that first introduction of Luffy between them two. So that was good. they did their parts, and I was very surprised as far as the CGI and world build. I mean, the world aspects of aesthetically how it looked. Now let's get into the negatives. There were some cringe moments that were, yeah, okay, that's not.
Wait. One other positive that I did peep in the couple episodes my son was watching, the fight choreography was well planned and thought out, at least from what I saw in the first 2 to 3 episodes.
In a sense, yes, I agree. Choreography wise, as far as fight scenes, was great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can definitely add that to the positives. Now, as far as
I
negative,
threw that out there and thought you was gonna be like, man, episode 8, you didn't see it, bro. Take it back now. I'm happy that that stayed consistent.
No.
Go ahead and give us the bad, please.
Yeah.
Why is our first introduction Zoro killing a black man?
Zoro. So check this out. Zoro. People say he always go after the black characters. Zoro fights literally their number one guy. So in a sense, Zoro is fighting their best man because he's the first. He is Luffy's right hand man. Luffy always fights the captain. Zoro fights the best second in command. So in a sense, they want to say, oh, he's racist, but Oda's showing like on all ships, the nigga is the one that's giving a lot of people all the hands. They're the problem. So I have to give respect where respect's due. Zoro is Piccolo. Vocally,
I'm looking at Greg's face.
Well, I just have to say because the guy who voiced the English version of Zoro
how come
is
the
Piccolo.
nigga ain't never the one in command?
Oh, we have Blackbeard. Blackbeard is in command, and he's a true pirate. That nigga gives problems.
Okay.
He's a Yonko for like
okay.
I'm just
he look like Mr. Popo black, or he just black?
No, he's black.
He's just black. He's not Mr. Popo.
Okay,
He mocha.
That nigga is a problem. He out of all the pirates, he's the true pirate. Nigga, I rob, I cheat, I steal.
I just don't like that was our first introduction to a pivotal character.
Well, our true introduction of Zoro, and this is my first point, was Zoro in the anime is locked up on one of the Marine boot camps, basically from Captain Morgan. Zoro is locked up because he punched Captain Morgan's son in the face because he was sicking his dog onto the citizens, and his dog was about to bite on a little girl. We hear about rumors of who Zoro was as a bounty hunter. In the live action, Zoro is already free, and you see him take one of his bounties, and he walks into a bar and has a body on his right hand. It's like, oh, cool. So they take elements of the young girl being introduced that he defends of the family, but it's a hit and miss because Luffy and the young boy is there with him, seeing that progress. While we meet Zoro, he's already 3 weeks in of being locked up, of not eating or drinking. Luffy's like, oh, who is this guy?
Jail cell with 1 HP.
No, he's actually sitting outside on a with his hands on a cross, just hanging there. So we're seeing like,
HP.
Yeah, 1 HP, real talk. So we're just sitting there seeing who he is. And so that was something that I didn't like because I was like, we meet Zoro through rumors of him pulling up, instead of seeing him get locked up. And the aspects of this man is hungry, this man is starving, he's on the brink of death, being locked up, and Luffy's pulling up, seeing him like, oh, you're Zoro, I want you to be part of my team. And he's like, I'm not joining your stupid crew, I have my own ambition of being the world's strongest swordsman. So we progress, and then you have the moment where Luffy and Zoro fights Captain Morgan. During this moment,
does Captain Morgan have a bottle?
Captain Narwish. Captain Morgan is an axe wielding guy. So for me, that moment is between Luffy and Zoro, with Nami going through the base looking for treasure, looking for a map, because Nami has her true own ambition. In the anime, Zoro is freed free from the young man that's with Luffy, and Luffy giving him his 3 swords that he ended up finding. Okay. He has guards coming up that's about to cut him down, but Luffy.
So are those already Zoro's swords that Luffy finds?
That's already here because they took them away because they locked them up. Because I need my swords. I'm like, okay, I'll go find them. Luffy ends up finding them. He's like, I don't know which one is yours, so I brought all 3. He was like, good, because all 3 of them are mine. You know what I'm saying, like that. So Swag. Yeah, so when Zoro gets freed, he's blocking all the Marines that are trying to cut them down. And he looks at Luffy and says, because he freed him, say, hey, if I free you, you're going to be a law-breaking criminal, so you might as well be a pirate. So he's like, bet. If I'm going to do this, I want you to understand I have my own ambition. I am going to be the greatest swordsman known to man. He's like, hey, that sounds good. I'm going to be king of the pirates. I need someone on my side like that. Bet. Luffy then kicks all the guards off of him and beats their ass like with one swoop because he's rubber. In the live action, Nami, Zoro, and Luffy are all fighting Captain Morgan and the guards. I did not like that. I was not a fan of that. That was a change of character development, which I want to go ahead and address. Liv, when you have moments, Kobe, thank you. I couldn't remember his name. Thank you, T. Will Don, and welcome to the show. Liv saying, was it changed? Is the anime and is the manga translating to the anime exactly panel for panel? And I say yes, but she wanted to point out that something happened to Whitebeard where half his face was blown off by Akainu with his magma, but that was edited because it was too gruesome to show. This is literally changing the development of characters in the show. That's something I did not agree with. One thing that literally plays a role into One Piece is the journey of these characters in the character development. Oda does something that a lot of people complain about because it's so long. This nigga does not leave no rock unturned. Oh, that's a purple rock? Cool, let's unturn it. Oh, there's a red one right next to it. There's a million rocks and he's going to unturn all of them. That's the first episode. Yeah. We continue, go forward. Oh, during this entire time, Luffy is getting chased by his grandfather, Garp. We don't see Garp until after CP9, which is over 100 episodes ahead.
What?
Exactly. Garp is introduced.
So let me stop you for a second.
I'm here.
Okay. Fam, what does Netflix think they are doing adapting a show that has over 1,000 episodes?
It's gonna be canceled before the second season.
I think it'll get to the second season, but for the love of God, I just know that I need it to be canceled well before we get to what is that Gear 4 where he turns into like the black arm muscular guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like God knows I don't need to see what that monstrosity is going to look like in CGI. It's going to be worse.
With
it's going to be
legs.
worse than the Titans in the live action.
It is rough. It's
gonna be bad. So ultimately, I wanted to get like if y'all are going to enjoy another season or 2 or 3, like cool, like I'm okay. I think because Gear does it go straight to Gear 2 or is there a Gear 1?
It's hard to explain because I
do know like Gear 2 or 3, one of them like doesn't really change his physical form much. He just gets stronger.
So you're looking like in of Alabasta because he uses not really because he uses water to defeat Crocodile. It's a lot.
Using water to defeat a crocodile is crazy.
Well, his base is sand. He ate the whatchamacallit, devil fruit that turned him into sand.
Sand fruit.
Something, right? If you want to call it,
like using sand to defeat Sandman. Like have more of what you made of, nigga.
You're funny.
Yeah, but nah. Like I know I just don't get it. I'm uninitiated. It's okay.
Yeah, and aesthetics is your problem, G. I get it. This looks way better for you as far as exam. Like for people who are new to One Piece or who are just scrolling through Netflix, like people like my wife, because my wife enjoyed Death Note. She's not watching anime. She watched live action shit and she enjoys shit like that. I'm like, oh, that's for her.
Wait, cool. She enjoyed the Death Note movie?
Yeah, she did. And I tried to show her the error of her ways. She almost got divorced because of that. But I digress.
Lord.
And I can go episode by episode, but I just want to point out another major things that I did not like. The absence of characters and Nami's backstory. her presence in general. Nami used the Straw Hats, well, Luffy and Zoro and Usopp, for her own ambition. 100%. She was not there to.
She's a gold digger?
For a sense, yes. She has to be a gold digger because she has to get 100 million berries to free the people on the island in which she originally came from. Because our
berries?
That's money system.
Their currency.
Oh, okay. I'm like
100 million berries is like
Walmart.
No.
Walmart.
So she has to gather that
100 million berries.
100 million berries. So she has to gather that, and they made Nami kind of too dependent on the Straw Hat. So we go to Sanji's episode when we get introduced to Sanji and Mihawk. That was a huge red flag to me, also because we did not see Johnny or Yasuku. Those are the bounty hunter brothers of Zoro. They played a pitiful role, and we did not get the true development of Don Krieg. Don Krieg was defeated by Mihawk, who was a person who was literally chasing Don Krieg, not for bounty, strictly because they woke him up from a nap in boredom. That's it. That's all. That was Mihawk. That nigga is just literally cool. I'm here, just y'all niggas fucked my nap up and I'm bored. Zoro pulls up on Mihawk like, you're the world's strongest swordsman. I came to see to challenge you. Mihawk's like, if you was a true swordsman, you will see the gap between our skill set, but I'll entertain you for quite some time. He has a small knife around his neck. He's like, this is the only sharp item that I have. Unfortunately, I don't carry anything smaller. Mihawk is talking that shit. He defeats Zoro. For me, it's too emotional in the live action because in the anime, Luffy is upset that his number one guy is getting defeated, but he's holding back Zoro's brothers because that's his moment. He has to let his guy fight. Then after he gets defeated, he jumps over to Mihawk and he was like, no worry, I didn't kill your man. He's not ripe enough to become what I want him to be. He's not worthy of death. And he asked Luffy, what's your name and what's your purpose? He's like, I'm Luffy and I'm going to be king of the pirates. Excellent. Find me when both of you guys reach the pinnacle of your skill sets and we will have a battle. And Zoro made a claim. So Luffy was really smiling at the end of this. Oh, this was a cool moment. That Zoro vowed, he said, I will never be defeated again. I will defeat Mihawk. That was a fire ass moment. Like yo ace nigga took a defeat and he was like, I ain't losing no more. If you have me king of the pirates, fire. In the live action adaptation, Nami pulls up, holds Luffy's hand, and they have an emotional tie. Like, we need to stand here together and support him with emotions.
Oh,
that shit's weak.
So it was more power of friendship than it was like conviction to be great for yourself. It's unfortunate.
Yep, against Crocodile. Yep, that's thank you, T Will. See, T Will's here. Thank you, T Will. I knew I was on it.
So Gear 3 is the one where he starts blowing on his thumb to make his arm big and shit. Then, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, Gear 4 was introduced with T Will. Correct me, with Doflamingo. Correct. No, that is Gear 3 when he's big because he fights Doflamingo, and Gear 4 was shown against Gear 4 was on Big Mom's Island when he fought old boy. So you're correct.
With the little chicken legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was Doflamingo was fire. So, and I'll just wrap this up with one of my other big red flags was the Nami backstory. Emotionally, Nami, before you meet Nico Robin, her story is the most pivotal. Nami is out there collecting again 100 million berries. Nico Robin. She's a character who reads basically the big stones that she's the only one that understands it, and it's basically a threat to the world government. It's great. I just watched her art. I just watched their episodes last night. It was phenomenal. Luffy pulled up and said, Nico, tell me that you want to live. She screams, I do. Luffy was like, say less. Usopp, burn the world government flag. We finna go to war with these niggas. Just peek, One Piece, peek, just chef kiss. But again, with Nami, so in the anime, Nami is a character who only looks out for herself because she has an end goal. There's no emotional ties. I fuck with y'all because we have a common enemy. We have a common goal. Y'all want this? I need the money. Let's make it make sense.
Right.
And then we don't get to know why Nami's like this until we get to her part when she pulls up on an island. We're at All-Alarm Park. Until then, Nami's so focused on the goal because Arlong took over her island. Arlong killed her mother. Well, her mother that she was adopted by. She became part of the Arlong crew because she was like, I have to make sure that no one that I love gets killed again. To me, in a live action adaptation, that's too emotional. That's not Nami. Nami's taking care of Zoro, talking about Luffy. You should have stood up for Zoro at the end of this when he got defeated by Mihawk. That didn't happen. Nami was already off the ship by the time niggas knew what was going on. She took the going Mary and went back to Arlong Park with the money to free her people. That was already
like a lot of scamming going on.
Yeah, she was hustling. But Arlong ends up pulling up to the restaurant after the fight with Mihawk.
Nico scamming.
It's a lot of changes that needed to happen. And I get the fact that we have limited time for One Piece to be developed in live action, but that's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. One Piece biggest attribute is the journey of developing and showing the characters as much as possible so we get to love them and what they are. We can't get that in live action. So my gripe was why do you want to do a live action with literally the longest anime to date? Well, longest running anime to date that depends on character development. And the things that were changed is something I don't agree with. Luffy getting chased by his grandfather. We didn't get introduced to Garp until further along. Nami's her backstory is something that I didn't like. We had good callback moments that were similar to the anime, but it was still kind of cheesy. What else? Zoro's introduction I did not agree with. And then the absence of Don Krieg and the Johnny and Old Boy, they were missing. So there's points where I didn't agree with, and that's my Gear 4 bounce man, yes. So for me, I just didn't agree with it, and that's fine.
It still got a 6 out of you.
They still got a 6. It's not a 2, but it's a 6. And for people who want to bitch and moan and saying that it's not just a 6, and people who can't tag or actually sit down and have a conversation with me, you're cowards. So, and when you want to have a debate, you want to talk about why this deserves something more than 6, I'm willing to sit down. The person I have is, the guy that I have that I want to have on my team, he's on vacation in Rome. We sat there and talked about it. He gives it below a 6. His reason is because of this. One of the guys I sat down and talked to, Juan, he agreed with my statements of it's a 6 out of 10. There's certain things that Zoro that he loved and certain things he didn't like. He understands 100% of that scoring. But if you want to defend your point, because, well, they only have the excuse of we only have so much, they try to squeeze so much into one season or 8 episodes. That's the fault of the creator.
The solution is don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. Just because Oda's involved, everything Oda that he does is not gold. Let's go ahead and accept the fact we was in Wano for 4 years.
Bruh.
We're in Wano for 4 years.
I'm still in Wano on the dubbed edition.
We're in Wano for 4 years. Skypiea is a thing. We're not gonna act like that wasn't good. So everything Oda does is not perfect. This wasn't a move that I agree with, but it's still a 6 out of 10 because I understand the work that put into it. But there's a bunch of there's more that I can go into that the world government rated Nami's 100 million berries because Arlong had one of the Marines on payroll, stole the money. He was like, I still have you. You are still my slave. And if you don't want me to kill anyone on this island, you will get you still have time to get another set of 100 million berries while continuing creating the world map that you set out to do. Cause she's the best navigator that's out there. And she's developing a new map so people can use of her adventure. That moment wasn't there for the live action. It was missed. So I'm here to discuss with anyone I'm here to have a debate with anyone who wants to give it a higher score, just because the fan base of One Piece gives it such a high score because the fan base of One Piece thinks One Piece does not do anything wrong.
You know, what this comes down to is this. I feel that some people are just too close to it to give like a fair judgment. That's why you have these people that are like that just love it for the sake of loving it or hate it for the sake of hating it. They don't know how to objectively look at it and be like, you know what? Let's look at this without the strings attached. And I think that that's like the biggest issue with it. And then also there's the fact that I'm sure everyone had extremely low expectations.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like for instance, we had very low expectations, for instance, when the Sonic movie came out and people went to go see it. It actually turned out to be pretty good. And because of that, you know, the movie is probably like a 7, maybe an 8 out of 10. You know, some people felt like it was 10 out of 10 material. Versus Sonic 2 came out, and when that movie came out, people had high expectations because the first one was so good. And while it does some things cooler, it ended up being like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. So I think that expectations go into it a lot. We got to consider like Hollywood fucks us up a lot. Like, think about this: a movie about a detective that's framed for the murder of his own family gets fired and then has to go into the criminal underbelly of New York to claim his innocence and get his reputation back for the honor of his dead family. Sounds like a pretty easy, dry cut movie. That's Max Payne. If you saw the Max Payne movie,
bruh,
they fucked that movie up.
Angry.
So I get it. But
yeah, and
at some point you got to let it go and not be a fan when you look at these things.
Yeah, and I had to take off my hater glasses because I was going in there like, I hate anime adaptations. I'm just going to give this a 1 and throw it away. But I gave it the good points where I was surprised they did well on. They gave us literally the East Blue environment that looked good. That looked great. Having Don Creed not sorry, phone in pocket. Oh, you're good, T Will. To me, Don Creed played a role. The Bounty Hunter brothers played a role. Arlong pulling up literally after the fight with Don Creed that was supposed to be Don Creed. Well, I'm sorry. Arlong pulling up to the restaurant looking for Nami threw me the fuck off, where literally after the Mihawk and Don Creed fight on the restaurant boat, Nami was already gone and had the Straw Hat saying, "Oh, we gotta go get our crewmates because something's off." She took going Mary. What's up with that? That played a pivotal role, not Arlong. Hey, Luffy, you got something to mind? I need that bitch. Let's go. Did not sit well with me.
No.
So those are my personal things that I did not enjoy, and that's my personal gripe. And if you don't agree with it, hey, that's on you. I don't care. You're giving people are giving reasons just because.
I just need to know why they keep doing this to us, bro. Why they keep doing this live action bullshit.
They're trying to
everything needs live action. Half of this shit doesn't need live action.
They want to get trying to get new fan bases in because again, you have people like my wife who won't watch anime but will watch live actions. It's just that how can I make it make sense? Like, the two animated shows should not be live action. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too animated. You have Smoker and fucking Crocodile coming in next season when they do this. You know how difficult it is because their entire fights, they depend on their devil fruits.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, that's just the nature of things. Like, there was the other one, Alice in Wonderland, which wasn't an anime, but I think it was a manhwa, is what it's based off of. Which is more or less still anime. It's just Chinese anime, from what I understand. And that show blew up. And even my wife, who has watched some anime, was, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this." And I'm watching it with these melodramatic standoffs and like the karate superhero poses and the dramatic fight scenes and the stopping and talking mid-fight. And I'm like, this is anime. This is live action anime. but some people need that live action element to connect to it. So I do get that.
Yeah, and I get that. But to say I'm hating because I give it a 6 out of 10, but with reasoning and tell you what I didn't like, I'm not here to debate too many people about that.
Yeah,
you have to give it aspects. You want to give people just because that's their version does not make it perfect. Kill the notion that live action anime adaptation is the curse is broken. It's been broken. Kenshin erased, and what was the other one I said? Kenshin and Kingdom is a thing. They've been out there.
Yeah.
So
but we also got to realize we live in the society where if you have a differing opinion, you're automatically on the opposite end.
I will be Ryan.
We saw how that conversation went with what was that guy's name? Blake. We saw how that conversation went.
Yeah. I'm willing to be the guy on this end and to be Ryan, but you have to make it make sense and defend your point. And I'm willing to do an entire debate with those who are different than that. I sat down and me and Liv talked the entire time. There was things I did nitpick, but other than that, taking things out from the manga to the anime because it's too gruesome, and then changing a character's entire way of how they go about things is two different things. Editing for too gruesome is not the same as changing the character's core. How can I say this? Core development.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's true.
So that's where I stand. That's how I feel. If you guys in the chat have watched the live action One Piece adaptation, please let's sit down and have a conversation. See what you liked about, what you disliked, and what you get. What score you give it. I stand by my 6 out of 10. I'm not backing down from that. So
right. Really, if you're in the chat right now, as we start to lead into recommendations, as I sense that's getting ready to come up, y'all can start putting whatever scale 1 to 10 in there right now. We already broke down the grading scale. So if y'all want to go ahead and throw those in there, just let us know what y'all thought about it. That would be appreciated.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know what you guys think about that One Piece. Because I'm going to give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a. I'm not watching it anyway. Like, and I understand that people say, "Oh, well, if you're not a One Piece fan," and for me especially, because what gets me about One Piece is like the grotesque art style that it goes to. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like the look of it.
Yeah.
And you said it earlier, like, "Hey Perry, hey Greg, this is something like a chance for you to maybe kind of get some of One Piece." No, it's not. Why? Because I would be a fool to get into the show to even get any type of remote affection for it, and then it's just going to get canceled. Like, let's be real. There's no way. Like, Netflix is not going to keep this show around for us to see probably anything like before like Gear 3. Like by the time we get to maybe Gear 1, 2, or however the first couple gears work, that's gonna be it. We'll probably never see inflatable Luffy, Bounce Man Luffy, Joy Boy. We're not gonna see any of that shit.
No, you're going to get Smoker and Crocodile coming next season. We're going to be in Alabasta. It's going to happen.
I don't know what that means. I don't speak One Piece.
I don't speak One Piece.
The way they're going, we're going to be in Alabasta by the 3rd episode.
I just don't. I
don't know what that means. I don't speak One Piece.
Even if we get to Alabasta, even if we go all the way to fucking Skypiea, like the choreography, the animation, the CGI, it's not gonna be there, bro. In my opinion. It's just not gonna be there.
Perry, this is what I gotta say to you real quick, okay? Because though I have a recommendation today, I gotta throw you in the trash real quick, bro. Because you do this to me all the time, okay? I don't speak a language. Like, for instance, you've never played Final Fantasy 9 before. Final Fantasy 9 is one of my favorite Final Fantasies. If I was to look at you and say, hey, Netflix is making a Final Fantasy 9 show. By episode 3, we're going to be in Trino. Can you tell me what that means, Perry?
No, I can't. I never watched it.
How am I supposed to know what an Alabasta is?
Well, I wasn't addressing you. I was addressing the people in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. That's fair, man. Because I'm like, what's an Alabaster?
It's an arc. It's just an arc. It's okay.
Did you play the One Piece game?
Yeah, it's cool. It's enjoyable. A couple of them.
Which one?
One Piece Odyssey.
I didn't play One Piece
it.
Odyssey.
I haven't. I played a little bit of it.
That's cool.
You guys own it? I haven't played it.
It's okay.
All right.
I thought about it.
If you've played, it's not going to be a decent lateral movement from you playing Persona right now.
No, I did. I didn't. But again, T will understand. Key characters. Key characters that are in the story that aren't there play a major role. Like Johnny and old boy play a major role with Zoro. They play a role, like a huge role. The restaurant, I can't remember the name. Their whole crew is full of fighters. They did not fight not one time. So like, there's key elements where I'm like, this is very different from the anime, but I digress. Mm-hmm. So T will hit me up, man, so we can have a conversation because we understand.
He will be around enough. We really need to get him on the episode.
Right.
Yeah,
stop playing. Mic up, you know what I'm saying?
Get him in the Discord. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do. For recommendations, who want to start it off?
If you talk to me,
I'll go first. Okay, y'all. This week, a game came out.
Yes.
And it just blew my mind. It rocked my socks. It just all of that. You know, like all of those cheesy 90s things that they used to say on the children's Valentine's cards, all of that shit wrapped up in once. Sea of Stars came out, y'all. Sea of Stars is a retro style JRPG that captures the time of like late Super Nintendo, early PS1 RPGs. It's a turn-based game. It is wonderful. The music is great. If you are as old as I am and you remember the golden era of JRPGs, like I'm talking about a time when you picked up a game and you looked at it and you saw an anime guy on the cover, you knew it was fire. A time when you would pick up and you would see not Square Enix, but you saw Square Soft on a box and you knew whatever it was from Japan and it was fire.
Wow.
Like in that era, if you missed that era, like this is the perfect game for you. Like go check it out. Music is great. The characters are great. It's intelligently written. It's super challenging. It is the perfect game, and it can probably be finished in a week. How addictive it is. Yeah. I'm probably gonna go. It's a 30 hour game, which is really short for a JRPG, as most people would know. I'm probably gonna still play it in the midst of Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate is like I need to sit down when I have at least 2 hours to play, versus you could get a good amount of things done on Sea of Stars within an hour. So go check it out. It's free. I mean, it's available on Game Pass and it's available on PlayStation Plus Extra tier. So if you have either of those consoles, you don't have to pay the $35 for it. But if you don't have them, it is absolutely worth the $35 as well. Like it's probably one of my favorite games of the year, and it feels so fucking good. Go play it.
Nice.
All right.
Back.
Yeah, I'll go. Listen, man. For all you people out there that are going to play a multiplayer game.
Oh God.
You knew this was fucking coming. If you're going to play a multiplayer game that incorporates any sort of teamwork, know your left from your right.
What was that word? Teamwork?
Make the dream work.
Please know your left from your fucking right.
You know what's crazy? How do you know L1 and R1, L2 and R2, but you don't know your left from your right?
Bruh, how do you play a game for 1,300 hours and you can't tell left from right? That's all I'm saying. Please, if you're going to play a team-based game with high-end in-game content on the first day of fucking release, know your left from your right.
How you gonna not just hold up your left hand and don't see the L there and be like, This is my left hand.
That's all I got. And play Armored Core.
Yes, play Armored Core.
And know your left from your right.
Please, God. Perry? Cyber P?
I will say... Oh,
Stop calling that man Cyber P.
I be peeing on people cyberly. I've been reading a lot more lately.
You doing what?
I mean, peeing on people.
Oh man,
I've been reading a lot more books lately. One of my favorite ones right now is the book Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, one of the well-known samurais of Japan during his time. And I've been able to find some good ground within myself because of this book. So instead of like doing my regular scrolling on Instagram, when I feel that urge, I just pick the book up, and I'm almost done with it. And so I'm starting to order more books where I can just sit down and read. I'm not into any of those books like Rich Dad Poor Dad or any of those, topic
Kinda
books on
mainstream.
podcast talk books. Spiritual grounding, and then architect type of books where I can build and grow food, like build in an environment in which I feel is cultivating for good thought thinking processes is something I'm leaning towards, and helps me
we'll see.
just peacefully internally. So, pick up a book. There's a lot of knowledge in those. Enjoy. And yeah, that's my recommendation. Pick up a book.
What?
Feel it.
Oh yeah, and choose violence in Baldur's Gate 3.
Choose violence.
I'm gonna recommend Shiny get Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna
Because
get it. I'm gonna get it.
So it's like my
All
thing
right,
is
it's
like
the restaurant. Thank you, T Will. T Will, you should have been here because I have notes, but I left them and I couldn't think of the names, and I'm terrible with pronunciation, and so I didn't want to embarrass myself.
right. So my thing is, we don't start over again, do we? Like, do we just have a separate playthrough with just me, you, and Sean? And then we could just hop into whichever campaign depending on who's ready between me, you, Sean, or me, you, and Ryan?
I don't care. I know Ryan's gonna be
Like-
ready at all times.
Yeah, that nigga Ryan, that nigga's ready at all times. Like, he's ready right now.
Hack, unfortunately, still has Destiny until a certain point. Until they break his heart, he never returns.
His heart is already
Yeah,
broken.
I mean, honestly, Destiny probably has me for the final shape, but after like that first initial like campaign and raid, because they time lock the last mission until after the raid. So whenever we beat the raid, then we can go and do the final mission for the final. So I mean,
That's how they're building the raid into the story this go around.
yeah. So after that, I mean, it's gonna be a bunch of not even seasonal content. It's gonna be episodic content. There's gonna be like 3 episodes that they release for us to like play through, leading up or leading into whatever that new saga is supposed to be. From what I understand, though, with like leaks and stuff, they don't even have an idea of where that new saga is about to go. Like,
It's about to go to marathon.
development wise, they would have had to have that in idea format at least by like last year, right? They can't wait a whole another year before they actually put a story on paper and into development for video games.
Well, let's see. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, at this point, they should have a clear
At least a
indication of where they're
storyboard.
going.
I would expect
But-
at least a storyboard, but from what I understand, they don't even have that right now. So, I mean, at this point, Destiny is, for lack of a term, killing itself. It's doing the Ouroboros thing, and
Right.
we'll see what happens when the seasons or when the episodes come out. But I'm playing other games, man. I'm enjoying life. I'm not gonna stress myself about Destiny. I will do it. I will get the final shape. I will play it. I will stream it. You know what I mean? But as far as like being all in Destiny, I mean that ship is long sailed since I've been playing like Elden Ring and Persona and.
Where are you in Persona? When's the last time you played?
I played before I got sick. Before I ended up with COVID last week, I was playing on the trip a little bit. I'm still in that dungeon. Yes, I'm still in the first dungeon, but I'm like over halfway through it.
Yeah. You fight the giant penis yet? The giant penis on the chariot?
No, I haven't fought the giant penis on the chariot.
Am I making that up?
Nope.
I would hope that you were making that up.
No,
I guess you'll have to see.
That's disgusting. That's fucking disgusting.
So there may or may not be a giant purple penis on a chariot, on a golden chariot.
Fuck.
There may or may not.
All right. Great. Anything else y'all want to say?
Yeah, there's going to be a sports podcast coming soon because USA just lost to Lithuania.
What the bruh? Again?
They let Nas down.
Didn't they lose to Lithuania like 4 years ago?
Yeah, this is the FIBA. Whatever it is, so they got it.
Wow.
Got it. So I want to thank everyone for pulling up. It has been a phenomenal week of content. A phenomenal show today. I want to thank everyone pulling up. T. Will, my boy Feeway, Ray, of course, Ryan, you hating bastard, Mo. What's her name? Well, my boy Woe. Appreciate you pulling up. And everyone in here, thank you guys for supporting the content. Thank you for pulling up every weekend as we give you such nerdy content. Look out for Baldur's Gate 3 streams. They probably won't be on YouTube because violence will be chosen and sex will be had.
Yeah, I definitely got the mature streams. So, sex, drugs, and violence. Rock and roll.
Absolutely. So with that, Greg,
chuck it football.
Give people what they want.
You deserve the hardiest. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, y'all. I'm going to fucking sleep.
Okay.
Wait, you ain't going to sleep yet, for real?
I have not been to sleep.
That's depressing.
Not
I'm
again.
Gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna go make some food